I am pretty certain that we're supposed to get the first Sims Delivery Express drop today. Now, there's not a lot of confirmation on this, and I also don't know what time it's supposed to come out at, but it's 1:07 p.m., and usually when they drop things, they come out at 1, so I'm just gonna go ahead and assume that it's coming out now. I guess we'll find out if it's not. I don't know. You're probably like, Kayla, what the heck are you talking about? What is SDX? What's Sims Delivery Express? So I'll give you a tiny bit of backstory. They announced like a month ago this new SDX system. The idea being that they could just give us free stuff like a lot more easily than having to wait for a full patch. So if they wanted to drop like one hair or a new item, maybe like a tiny bug fix or like a new pair of pants, they could just drop it through SDX and it would download that item individually and add it to your game instead of having to wait for like an entire patch to go out once a month or whatever. I think the idea is to get us stuff more quickly, which is super cool. And it also kind of leads me to believe that they're going to be working on more free stuff if they built like a whole system to drop more free stuff. So I've got high hopes about this. And they actually have 2 of these drops planned. Today, they're supposed to be a hair, just one hair. But then next week, there's supposed to be like 4 or 5 new build items. Seems like a positive thing all around to me. So I guess now we just have to try and figure out if it worked and if it's out. As far as I'm aware from what they said, when there is a new SDX drop, you just have to like open your game and then it'll pop up and tell you to download it and then it'll be ready and you just reopen your game and then boom, you've got it. The issue right now is that I don't actually know if it's come out yet. I'm just assuming that it might be out because it's 1 o'clock, but nobody's talking about it on Twitter or anything, so we might have to wait a little bit longer. It won't hurt to try though. Oh, Sims Delivery incoming. New Sims Delivery. New content has been installed but will not be available for use until the game is restarted. Would you like to restart now? All unsaved data will be lost. Yeah. No, I'll restart in a second. Okay, The Sims 4 is downloading new content in the background. Check game options to see its status. There will be another notification when the download is complete. And it was super fast, obviously, because it's just one hair. Okay. Oh, Sims Delivery. A new delivery has been installed. To use, restart The Sims 4 and enjoy. And you can change it to check for them every hour, every 30 minutes, only on startup or never. Oh my god, that's so cool. This is a lot easier than I thought it would be. I was worried it would be confusing, but if all you have to do is restart and it tells you when it's done, like, okay. So it sounds like it'll tell you even if you're in game as well, which is pretty cool. So if you're like actively building a house, it might pop up and be like, hey, you got some more stuff if you want to restart your game. I'm pretty pleased with that. I was kind of worried it would be confusing, but this does not seem confusing. Like that seems very straightforward. A lot less confusing than the whole patch system is as well. Like I feel like a lot of players that aren't super actively involved in the Sims community will probably never read patch notes or like hear about the patches. They'll just see Origin auto update their games. But the notification in game about new free content is good because otherwise they wouldn't even know. Now the question is, does it show you what the new free content is? Because I know what it is because I'm a Sims YouTuber who's been waiting for this. So I'm hoping that it'll be super obvious what the new hair is. No? It's not. Okay. That's cool. So we know it's a new base game hair, and we also happen to know that it's this new base game hair because I've seen it. But if you hadn't seen it, it might be hard for you to find what the new content is. So I wish that it was a little bit more obvious because it didn't even tell me it was a CAS item. Like it just said there's new content available. There was no like, is it CAS? Is it build? Like, because it could be anything. It could be a chair. It could be a sock. I mean, who knows? So maybe in the future they'll make it a little bit more obvious. I guess they might also end up putting like a blog post feature on the homepage and they just haven't done it yet, so we'll see. I mean, I like the new hair. I'm super excited about this one. I think it looks really good, and it's kind of cool that I just like logged on today and we had an extra new hair. I mean, we didn't have to do anything. There's no extra patch notes. So I assume, and again, this is just an assumption, that if they didn't have this SDX system, they would have like finished this hair already, but we'd have to wait until the next patch. And we just had a patch last week, so there probably wouldn't be another one until like the end of December because they usually happen like about a month apart. But now, because of this, we don't have to wait on the patch. They can just give us the hair now because it's done now. And like next week, we can just get the other stuff because it's done then. Or if they fix like a small bug, they can be like, here you go, problem solved straight away without having to wait for any sort of big patch or anything. So again, this feels very positive. I'm really pleased about this. The only criticism, and it's I think a big one, but it's not like a big deal, is that they don't make it obvious what's new, but like it's still free new stuff, you know, like it's still a free base game item. So I'm not complaining. I'll take as much free stuff as you want to throw at us. I like this hair. Oh, I didn't look at the color of the hair tie. I meant to look at that. I'm always curious to see like what hair tie colors they select for all of the different hair colors. It looks like for the most part they're all pretty neutral, like black, grayish, brown sort of colors. This one's blue. Sometimes the colors they pick are like super bright. They'll be like a red one or something, so I wasn't sure, but I'd rather the neutrals. They're easier to work with. You know what? I'm in a good mood. I'm really excited about this. I feel like there's a lot of potential here. I know it's just like one hair, but oh, let me show you. They actually already showed us what's coming in the next one. This one has a bunch of stuff, so we'll get this next week. I think next Tuesday is what they're planning on doing. They pushed the releases a whole week. They're supposed to come out last week and today, but now they're today and next week. So this one is like some holiday items. It might end up being an update to that free holiday pack. I don't know. I'm not sure. It also might just be base game. I'm kind of curious to see what all the swatches are on these items, but it looks like a few build items. We've got like this wall hanging apron set. I think that is so cute. I'm gonna use that all the time. There's like a little cake stand with like a loaf of some sort in it. I'm picturing like pumpkin bread. I don't know. We've got a drink. Is that eggnog? I don't know. I've never had eggnog. I don't know what it looks like when you put it in a glass. Do you put cinnamon in a cinnamon stick and eggnog? Yes! Yes, you do! Look, it's the same! Okay, there you go. Eggnog, a couple of bows, it looks like one wall bow and one table bow, some salt and pepper shakers, which is kind of fun because we don't really have anything like that. Also, this set of fire tools, I was really pumped about that because we don't have anything like that either. And it looks like these are 2 new recipes your Sims can cook, like actual food they can make. So this is pretty fun. It's like a kind of well-rounded update, I feel like, with some genuinely super useful things. I mean, I don't know how often I'll have my Sims drink eggnog, but I'll probably put these fire tools in every house that has a fireplace from now on. So I will take it. And look, these are just their first couple. They're calling it the Tasty Treats and Festive Touches Build Buy content. Again, I'll take it. I hate to like speculate and get our hopes up too much, but with these 2 being the first 2 drops, I feel like it's looking pretty good for future ones. And again, I don't know why they would build out such a system if they didn't intend to use it a lot. So I'm feeling like maybe we'll get the occasional random drop of like, here's a hairstyle. Here's a chair, maybe a new wallpaper. Like, I'm super into the idea of like just 1 or 2 random free items sometimes. It's like a fun little present, you know? It's just a little surprise. I don't think anyone's gonna complain about that, you know? It's free. It's kind of fun to speculate on like what kinds of things they'll keep giving us. I feel like hairs are probably gonna be a super common one, but the build stuff is interesting because like I wasn't expecting to get like the fire tools item, you know? But that is genuinely super useful. Like, I'm gonna put that in my build so often. And the aprons, like, those are so cute and like so normal and easy to put everywhere. They don't feel very holiday specific to me. Maybe like wintry, I guess. I don't know. But I'm gonna use those a lot. So I feel like if this is the tone they're setting, we might get some good stuff. And also like recipes for your Sims to cook, that's fun. It's like a simple little tiny gameplay edition. I don't know. Again, I'm in a good mood. I'm really pleased with this. Let me know in the comments, what do you think they're gonna do next? And also, when do you think the next one will be? I feel like, do you think it'll be more often than once a month? Because if so, why else would they do it? Like, I don't know. We're getting 2 right now and like 2 separate drops, only a week apart, but that's probably because it's the first ones. So it'll be interesting to see like how the frequency changes in the future too. But anyway, let's talk about it in the comments. I'm curious to hear your thoughts. If you're into Sims news, I always post it. So feel free to subscribe. And one last tiny thing, I am currently wearing my merch, but we also have loads of other merch. For example, we made this pet calendar. If this is something you're interested in, it has a lot of really cute photos of me and my pets, and I'm really proud of this. But we also have pajamas, we've got mini backpacks, cat plushies, socks. I mean, we really have it all. So I'll link my merch store down below. It's just lilsimsieshop.com. And if you order it now, it'll still get to you in time for Christmas. It, much like the Sims Delivery Express, will make for a great gift. Although I am a little bit biased, I will admit. Anyway, with that being said, I'm gonna go, and I will see you all tomorrow. Bye, everybody. I had to get the plug in there, all right? I had to. I am really proud of this merch, though. We worked really hard on it, and I think it turned out really good. So if you want to just go check out lilsimsieshop.com, I'm just saying.